Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to not a StarCraft 2 cast, but rather a StarCraft analysis, I guess. I saw this post on Reddit with Szunami here, looking for some feedback on what he can do in his game. So I was like, hey, I got some spare time, why not make a video about it? So, okay. What Szunami is going to be doing in this game is going for a very early push with Combat Shield. So it's going to mine up to 100 gas, 107 or something like that. And then focus all of his attention to mining over here at the minerals. And he wants some help. Okay, so the first thing, it's actually a pretty decent build so far. You're continuing to build SCVs constantly, which is very good. The supply depot could have been delayed a couple of seconds. You could have perhaps gotten your second barracks a bit up earlier instead, but not a huge deal. You're gonna saturate the gas immediately. Super nice. The thing though is that now you're continuing to produce a lot of SCVs. This is 4 SCVs queued up. That's 200 minerals. If you were to have this one and this one, just these two, that would be 100 minerals. So you're saving 100 minerals that you're currently not using. This means that you can use those 100 minerals a lot earlier. So you could drop down earlier barracks. So you could already be up to 2 barracks, perhaps producing your third. If you wouldn't, if these wouldn't have been queued up, you would have a lot more minerals in the bank. Then the tech level goes down, of course, for the combat shield later on. Still, this SCV, not necessary. Could have been at 150 right now. Drop down the third barracks. And this, by the way, scouting the wrong direction, unfortunately. You probably don't know, but there are only 2 spawn positions on this map. Spawn positions, so it's this top position and the bottom position. So no need to go like down here to the left. So just focus on, like in the beginning there will be a few pings on the minimap. Like over here you see a ping here and a ping here. That will show you the spawning distance, or not the distance, the location of your opponent. Or the potential location of your opponent if this is a full player map. Anyway, continuing. Second barracks is coming down now. You could have already dropped down the third and the fourth, as I mentioned. Now you are starting to spend your minerals, queuing up marines like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same with the SCVs, 200 minerals. Remove these 2. You don't need them queued up right now. Drop down another barracks. Your goal is to make as many marines as possible with this combat shield timing. No need to queue them up right now. The more barracks you have, the more marines you can produce. So you don't need these queued up. Now we have 5, that's 250 minerals, so you only need to spend 50 at a time. So as we speed things up a bit, still only on that second barracks producing. This is nice, pulling off the SCVs here. You don't need more gas, so you know that, so you just pull them out and mine as much as possible. You're starting to you're continuing to produce SCVs rather. Still 4 queued up here, same thing as usual. And really you don't need more than 16 workers, I think. You still gain a bit up until you reach 24, but 16 is the optimal. And then once you pass 16, you don't gain as much for every SCV as you did before 16 workers. So I think you should stop producing SCVs right now and spend that money on building more barracks instead. So imagine now at 240, you could have been technically on 4 barracks producing marines right now. This is nice, you're not getting supply blocked. You got your supply depots timing out. You got them timed out real nicely. And I'm honestly impressed by how well you're producing SCVs and building depots. That's one of the trickiest things, I think. And you're constantly producing marines as well. Even though they're queued up, that's not optimal, but it's better than not building at all. And now, once again, you're moving out just as combat shield finishes. Wait, we're gonna back up slightly. Do that. So combat shield is going to be finishing up in like 5 seconds now. These marines could have already been over here with SCV. If they would have been here, they could have waited for combat shield to finish up. Combat shield is about to finish up. There we go. And now you move in with the marines just as combat shield is done. But now these marines have to walk all the way across the map. Even though you could have moved out a lot earlier and still utilized the fact that you have combat shield. Now you're waiting for so long since you have to move across the map. And once you get here, you see that there's an adept, and the Pile Nova Charge is going to be here as well with a second adept joining in. So you're gonna have 2 adepts and Pile Nova Charge to fend off. If you would have been here earlier, you would have had 1 Munchip Core and the second adept out at 320. Let's see. No adept would have been out if you would have hit now with this SCV and the Marines at the same time, just as Combat Shield finishes up. So then you would have had just the Pylon overcharge, or the Photon overcharge rather, to fend off, which would have been a lot easier for these Marines. Adepts are basically the ultimate counter to Marines, since they deal additional damage to light units. So those are just my tips. Don't queue up as much, don't produce as many SCVs, you're up to 21 now. These minerals could have been put into barracks instead a lot earlier. So first of all, don't queue up SCVs, don't make more than 16. And don't queue up Marines either. Spend all your minerals on barracks and supply depots earlier, because you could have had like at least 6 or 7 more Marines with this push if you wouldn't have queued up units. You would have easily taken down this pylon and the Manship Corps. So I hope that was helpful for you, and it was kind of messy because I didn't plan stuff out that properly with like a script and stuff. So still hope you enjoyed, and I hope you continue playing StarCraft. I'll see you. Bye bye.